The Gulf Coast is first and foremost home to communities that grow more robust and more populous every single year, to native and migratory species, to fisheries, agriculture, and energy. The Gulf of Mexico is habitat and livelihood, opportunity and responsibility. Along these shores and beneath these waters lie geological complexities and technical challenges, and for those who are committed to this region, enduring productivity. Exploring what's possible in the Gulf of Mexico requires a knowledge of its past, an understanding of its present, and most important, the energy and initiative to pursue a productive and responsible future.
Apache is one of the largest operators in the Gulf of Mexico and along the Gulf Coast, and there's a lot of responsibility that goes with that. From the safety standpoint of the people that work in those areas, we're obligated to make sure we provide a safe place to work and our people are adequately trained and qualified to conduct their job safely. Secondly, you have to make sure that you're aware of the environment that you work in and making sure that you protect the areas that you work in and you do things that are in compliance with all the regulations and making sure that you're a good citizen when it comes to protecting the environment. And thirdly, you have to be aware of the communities that you operate in. Apache is committed to making sure that we give back to those communities. A lot of those people work for Apache, directly and indirectly. Apache is well aware of the people in those communities that we operate in and provides a good stewardship to those areas.
Gulf production has contributed significantly to both local and national economies, with production exceeding 30 billion barrels of oil equivalent to date, and deep water potential alone estimated at an additional 46 billion barrels. For effective operators, the economics are good. The Gulf's proximity to dependable markets and major refining and processing infrastructure leads to premium prices, high margins, realizations, and rates of return.
Historically, the Gulf Coast and the Gulf of Mexico has played a very important role within Apache. We provide a lot of excess cash flow that has funded paying down debt, international exploration ventures, as well as acquisitions around the world. Opportunities in the Gulf region are quite abundant. They range from shallow exploration and exploitation onshore for both oil and gas, grading into the shelf where we have a very great infrastructure and we can chase various size targets from our infrastructure. And into deep water, we've got the mega opportunities, very high potential, but riskier opportunities which will allow future growth for Apache.
In the 30 years since Apache entered the Gulf of Mexico, the company's holdings have grown to 5 million acres. Onshore in the Gulf's coastal regions, Apache is the owner and determined steward of nearly 950,000 net acres from the Mississippi marshlands to desert-like South Texas. Fee mineral acreage in South Louisiana offers economic and strategic advantages, attracting joint venture and drilling opportunities that increase the activity on our lands. Technology facilitates onshore growth.
One of our observations is that the majority of the industry stopped investing in the Gulf Coast onshore region at a time that preceded the development of some of the modern technology that we enjoy and apply today. Some of these technologies that I'm talking about are modern seismic imaging technologies or modern drilling and completion technologies. One of the cornerstones of our strategy is to apply these technologies to our land positions in South Louisiana and other places of the region to fully exploit the reserves and the opportunities.
Culturally and economically significant, the onshore region includes marshlands that provide local hunting, fishing, and employment opportunities, serve as storm surge protection for coastal cities, and house nurseries and fisheries that feed international demand.
Our stewardship of these properties, we're doing it not just because it's the right thing to do, because we live here, we work here. This is our playground. We want it to hang around. We want it to be here for future generations. We share this land with all kinds of wildlife. Some of the things we do, even in our oil and gas activity, we can change our routine and change our programs up to benefit wildlife. We do that regularly. That's part of what we do at Apache. We recognize that responsibility and we put it into action.
On the shelf, Apache is the #1 player in terms of production, lease holdings, and infrastructure. In a typical year, Apache drills 50 to 60 wells on the shelf, most off of existing facilities. That infrastructure and acreage position, plus Apache's historical success rate, a strong and predictable 80%, reinforce the company's preferred partner status.
One of the keys for our region's success is the ability to get these wells on quickly after we drill them. And having the infrastructure in place, having a platform in place, having sales agreements already set up, we can literally move in a rig, drill the well, complete it, tie it into the flow line header, and be producing within days of the rig leaving location.
Once production is complete, platforms must be removed from the Gulf of Mexico. Apache's decommissioning team steps in with a prioritized, proactive plan to remove idle infrastructure and reduce associated financial and environmental risks. Many decommissioned platforms on the shelf are contributed to the Rigs to Reef program. Platforms are cleaned, towed, and sunk in predetermined locations to create habitats and commercial and recreational fishing destinations. With more than 4/5 of the Gulf of Mexico's oil reserves and approximately half of its natural gas reserves, the Deepwater Gulf is one of the largest exploration basins in the world. It is also a significant growth area for Apache. Already within Apache's extensive acreage are a number of world-class discoveries under development. Lucius and Heidelberg, for example, both have resources in excess of 200 million barrel equivalent and will deliver meaningful production to Apache in the future. Apache's extensive deepwater exploration acreage will provide decades of promising home run potential exploration projects. And Apache can reduce the cost of producing future deepwater developments by leveraging its extensive infrastructure position on the shelf.
What we see is that if you look at discoveries that have been made in the Gulf of Mexico and the deep water so far, there are many significant discoveries. Just to throw out some numbers, we're looking at about 33% of the discoveries made proven reserves are over 100 million barrels. We're looking at another 25% that are over 250 million barrels and an additional 17% over 500 million barrels. So 75% of the discoveries are over 100 million barrels in the deepwater Gulf of Mexico. That's very significant and certainly tends to offer a bright future for us in the deep water.
Apache's recognition of the long-term possibilities in the Gulf of Mexico and a willingness to pursue them has been a catalyst in the company's transformative growth. Apache has the experience, technology, and financial strength to develop 1 to 2 new deepwater projects per year. Using innovative technology reduces risk in plays and development models, and also reduces project lead times. Today, with critical mass on the shelf and great potential in deepwater, Apache is positioned to help meet the growing energy needs of the U.S. energy market while serving economic growth and job creation. And by employing new technologies and innovations, Apache fully intends to expand what's possible in the Gulf of Mexico.